Richard Shepherd from leaseoptionsmastery.com. I'm here with a couple who have just done an assisted sale in London. Now this is pretty much putting paid to anybody that says that lease options or options don't work in London at all. So let's swivel this round and let us meet Sunit and Aditi, who have done this assisted sale. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there. So basically you found this deal. Do you want to tell people how you actually found the deal?
Yeah, so we were advertising in some specific areas in East London, and actually leaflets were one of the mechanisms that we were using, and the lady responded to our leaflet and rang us and said that she was
being repossessed the next day.
So this was East London?
Yes.
That's not far from the Olympics, sort of.
Not at all.
Very close.
Very close, actually, yeah.
Okay, so she said she was being repossessed the next day?
Yes. So we went straight down to court the next morning, stopped the repossession, bought some time with the judge, and then we started exploring, ways through which we could complete this transaction. And eventually we decided that the assisted sale would be the best option.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. So what was her situation? Why was she being repossessed? I mean, how bad was it?
It was really bad. I think it had been building up over quite a number of years. She hadn't paid her council tax for 5 years, hadn't paid her water rates for 5 years. They both had secured charges on her property. She had a secured loan as well on the property, as well as her mortgage being in arrears.
And an unsecured loan, which had then been turned into a secured loan.
Mm.
So she had 5 creditors in all.
So it's pretty messy.
It was very messy. Yeah.
Very messy.
Okay. And you basically saw a way here that you could make quite a lot of money in a very short space of time. So how much money did you actually make out of this deal?
So ultimately we made £5,000 out of the deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did that actually take?
So the end-to-end sort of process took 8 weeks, but once we decided that assisted sale was actually the best solution, that only took 2.5 weeks.
Okay, so you're saying you had quite a few tools in your arsenal, as it were.
Yes, that's right.
So once you actually decided on the right one, it only
Yes.
took a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So you'll say, what, a couple of weeks, £5 grand, that's not bad.
That's not bad, yes.
Okay, so do you want to tell us a little bit about the property and how much was it worth, how much was secured in it in total?
Yeah, so it was a 2-bedroom terraced house, and the full market value was about 160 tops, but it was in, not a great condition. It was very messy, needed some work, and so, given the condition that it was in, it would have probably fetched about 153, 154 on the open market. But we went in there, we helped to clear it out, and we did some very minor cosmetic work to it to make it more marketable.
Yeah.
So ultimately it sold for 158.
Okay.
She owed in total 152,500.
Let me just stop you, because you just spoke about going in there and doing a load of work. I mean, what was that, 8 weeks worth of work? Or how much did you spend in order to get
Right,
it?
so it was literally 1 day's worth of work.
1 day?
1 day. So hired a van, cost of £50. Got a handyman in there for 1 day, cost £80. So total cost about £130.
Plus a cleaner, I guess.
No, I was cleaner. With my rubber gloves on.
You drew the short straw.
Yeah, and that made quite a big difference actually.
Just elbow grease, really.
Yeah.
So basically it cost you 130 quid.
Yes.
And you got £5 grand out the other end.
Yeah.
Okay. Any estate agents that would be willing to do it for 130 quid?
No.
It's just not something they consider doing, is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
And why didn't anybody else see this deal? Because it's inside London, it's meant to be pretty competitive inside London.
I think most people just couldn't see that
The potential in the property.
exactly, and how you could actually increase the marketability of the house just by doing a little bit of work. You know, and that made a difference.
We also told the vendor, because she'd pretty much given up. She was quite
Completely.
ready to give her keys in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she said, if you can't help me, it's fine, I'm going to be evicted, I have no problem. She hadn't moved out, she was a single mum with 2 kids. And it was about giving her time as well to just get herself organised and find somewhere to live.
So it's more than just the £5,000, it's also
Yes.
the fact that you're sort of willing to actually, you know, really get in there and sort of help people.
Yes.
Yeah, completely.
Absolutely.
And it was also about the fact that we were able to clear, you know, all her debts, which if she'd gone to an estate agent wouldn't have been possible given the condition of the property.
Okay, so what you're saying is there's a gap in the market right now,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and you're using all the tools in your arsenal to exploit that gap.
Yes, and you know, the tools that we've got, we've picked up by being on your mastermind course for a year and on other courses that we've also attended.
Okay,
So yeah, we brought all of those tools to bear.
okay, absolutely fantastic. So now you've just given up your job, is that right?
Yes,
How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling pretty good about that. I had a well-paid job in IT in London, but you know, we decided that property was the thing that we wanted to concentrate on going forward.
I know you've done a few sort of creative property transactions now.
Yes, we've done, you know, a few different ones,
So-
and you know, they worked out pretty well. So you know,
So you're in a position now where you can just say, do you know what, the DT, that's...
yeah, we could see that the potential for replacing my income from property and more, you know, and which is why we decided that we'll just go for it full time.
It's also a great time to be in the property market. If we can really take advantage of this time, then there's no stopping us.
Yeah, and you know, now the fact that we've done this assisted sale, you know, we can just see the potential of this, and I'm sure that assisted sales will now form a big part of our business going forward.
Okay, so that pointed a way forward for you.
Absolutely, yes, it has.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for spending this time with me.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Thanks.